Talking CRM with Jeff and David, getting the best value for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems. David Beard, CRM Principal, and Jeff Richards, Head of Training Program Development for Sage CRM, spend time chatting with customers, resellers, and others about Sage CRM in action around the globe. In this episode, we continue on the idea of cross-departmental problem solving, while Anthony talks about the future focus for Astech and how CRM should evolve as a customer's central business system rather than just buying more new tools. It's interesting that the more we dig into stories from around the world, it's always interesting. We learn something new every time on calls like this. Is this idea of enabling processes across departments and across stakeholders as well, right? And having the imagination in a company like yours to help the customer express what they do and then express it in software.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most interesting part of what we do is looking at a business, looking at processes and challenges and understanding or coming up with solutions as to how we enable that and how do we, I think one of our clients used a great word, reduce the friction, making processes much more seamless. And, you always hear this word collaboration, but allowing different teams and different organizations to work together. And I think these days with remote work, it's become even more relevant.
Yeah, well, we certainly have been seeing such a big uptick in new sales around the world. So obviously this is driving people hard to think we can't now throw papers at each other across a desk. We're in physically different places. How do we do that electronically? So in terms of the future of Astech in your country, what you've learned about the product and where you want to go post-COVID, where will you be? If I had this question of you in a year's time, what will you be doing?
I think we'll be doing a lot more around our loan management solution and around credit providers, because I think we see a lot of opportunity to help businesses in that space improve their processes, remove the duplication that happens in those businesses, get rid of spurious spreadsheets. So I think there's a lot of businesses there that could really benefit from this one fit solution, because we have with Sage CRM a solution that fits between the huge enterprise level systems that the multinational banks have and the spreadsheet. And I think that's a really uniquely well-positioned solution with Sage CRM and the Sage ERP solutions.
I think that's a really powerful point, because it almost takes us back to the very beginning about this idea of as a development platform, if you like, for Sage CRM, as well as it comes with all this good CRM stuff in it ready to go, because you're helping customers deal with process inefficiencies and data requirements in an elegant way without costing a bomb, right? And you've got a lot of experience. So how do you pick up what you've done in loan management? Or better question would be, can you pick up what you've done in loan management and taken it to other industries?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think the biggest challenge is how do you make those industries aware that there's a better solution, that there is a cost-effective solution for them. And I think and obviously forums like this may help that, because there's a large channel out there, Sage channel partners that come across customers all the time, that may come across challenges and not always realize that there's actually a great solution at their fingertips that they can use and leverage off.
It's interesting, I think, that you say that, because particularly in the Sage 300 world, which has been around for a while and has grown up with a number of add-ons to help backfill pieces of functionality or particular functionality for particular industries, I've often thought you could actually replace a lot of them with CRM. Would you agree?
No question about it. In fact, I'd hate to say we actually have done that in a number of cases.
Okay.
And sometimes we have an internal debate about whether to use a third-party application or whether to build a piece of functionality in CRM for a customer. We usually take the approach of, don't reinvent the wheel, don't redevelop. But in some cases we need to do that. In fact, we had a recent case where there's a specific piece of functionality. There is a module for it, but it doesn't quite do what the customer needs. So we've rebuilt it for them in Sage CRM. They have CRM anyway.
Yeah. I think that's part of the evolution story. I often speak to resellers around the world, encourage them to get on board the CRM train. And it's about not just thinking short term, here's a way to sell another 5 users to a customer for CRM, easy stuff, but it's like what you could do with it in the future as well, right? In 2, 3, or in your cases, you're quoting customers that have been with you for 15 years because you've managed to evolve on the same platform with their business, right?
Yeah, and I think maybe another point on that is also quite interesting, is that some of the customers would even in certain cases employ their own teams to continue the evolution of the system without a reseller necessarily. because it's not that difficult to get a developer to build or to continue to build on Sage CRM. And some of our customers have done that. So they have their own internal developers who continue to grow the solution for them.
Can I dig into that? We've had conversations in the Talking CRM series in which skills, both within the partner's own base and also within the customer base, is a challenge. How easy is it really to be able to find the necessary skills, both technical and business, to be able to support and implement CRM?
I think the challenge there is it depends on the company you're starting with. So if you're looking at this from a customer point of view, they have a development environment. For them, it wouldn't be difficult because they've already got developers, they've already got people who understand development, they've got business analysts. If it's someone that doesn't have any type of internal development or IT capability, for them it's much more challenging because they don't know what they don't know. They don't know the skills that they need. And it's not just having a developer, it's having, as you say, someone with the business skills. And you're not often going to get the same person who's a developer, a junior developer, and the business skills. Normally, it's not the same person. And that's where I think it becomes a bit more challenging.
Then you adjust your service to match, yes?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. I think the biggest challenge they have would be, and even bigger challenge than finding resources is sometimes keeping resources.
So for those resellers that are listening, Sage 300 particular resellers, and Pastel as well, right, the Evolution product, who are looking for CRM expertise, they should come and talk to you, right?
Absolutely, yeah. For sure, definitely going to talk to us.
Well, there's a sub-level of conversation here about you guys could help other partners and all boats rise together, don't they? So
yeah, for sure. Well, and it's a good point you mentioned that because we do that. We do a lot of Sage CRM work for other business partners, other Sage business partners at different levels. In some cases, we'll do a full implementation, for them. In some cases, we'll just do the development work that's needed. So they may do the basic CRM installation and configuration, and we do what you might call heavy lifting, with more complex development work, integration work.
I think you make a very powerful point, partly because you got on board so early and partly because you think about the potential of the platform almost before you think about the accounts. I know that's a poor way of expressing it, but you get where I'm going with that. And Jeff, I think there's a really strong point about the region here, about all the potential with the product and to people who understand how to think about deploying it.
Well, this is going to show my age in talking about how long I've been working with the product and how long Anthony's been working with the product. There was certainly a strong element. You're on the front here, and they have to be very self-reliant if you are a South African business partner. That's the early adopters learnt it well, and they developed a strong set of skills of being able to, we have a problem, we're going to fix it. They were not... you would say that was fair about the South African culture. You don't look for support when you can look after yourself, do you?
I think that is probably a fair comment. We always, I suppose, like a challenge, and we try and solve a problem, before we kind of just wait for support. And I suppose it is the fact that there's a distance and there's a time delay, so you want to become self-reliant. I think that is true. That is a strong factor.
So I think that's a great place to bring this interview to an end. My thanks to Anthony and the team at Astech for chatting so knowledgeably about the product and what they've done with it. Jeff, thanks for coming along, throwing in the odd good question there and now and then. Join us again next time when we talk to resellers, customers, and more from around the world. Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks very much, David. Thanks, Jeff.
So long, Anthony. Cheers. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Talking CRM with Jeff and David. Getting the best for the whole organization from your integrated CRM and accounting systems.